Hey, this is John Sifferman from physicalliving.com, and in this video I'm going to be reviewing the Xero shoes. That's Xero with an X instead of a Z, which were formerly branded as invisible shoes. And what they basically are is just a Huarche style sandal, where you either buy it as a kit or you buy a custom made set that will fit your foot very well. And what you get is a super high density, very thin rubber sole, and they have them in different thicknesses. I was sent a 6mm thick set and a 4mm thick set, I believe. And that's the background story. The owner of the company, Steven Sashin, hi Steven, he contacted me and sent me a couple of these to review for him, to get him some feedback, and that was probably late last year or very early this year. I can't remember when, but I got them in the middle of winter, and these aren't really a winter option up here in New England, where we get a lot of snow and it's very cold for several months. But I started testing them in the spring, and I've been using them off and on ever since spring, summer, and now we're well into fall here up in New Hampshire. And I've tried using these walking, running, and hiking, backpacking, and just casually, just about my usual day. And so they've been tested from a lot of different angles, as many as I could. So I didn't forget about you, Stephen. You probably thought I did, but I wanted to make sure that I could, speak coherently about my experience using these. After all of my initial testing, I have very good things to say about these. So those who are watching this because you're interested in maybe getting a set of these, please watch it all the way through, because I recommend these for a lot of people. I think they're a great product. So that said, let's talk about the things I like about these. They're very affordable compared to most other minimalist footwear options, and just any footwear options in general. Even comparing these to a lot of the sandals that are out there, these are very reasonable in price, and they're a very high quality product. I've worn these a lot, and they've gotten some heavy use from some running. In the rain, they've been used backpacking a number of times, where I'm carrying 30-40 pounds on my back, walking through the Granite State, which we walk on a lot of stone up here in the Granite State when we're hiking, and so these have been through the paces, and they've held up very well. They're very durable. I believe he offers a 5,000-mile warranty for you runners out there, and that is a tremendous amount of mileage to expect out of one set of footwear. So they're affordable, they're very durable, they're very comfortable. And the reason I like these, and the primary reason I like them, is just for casual use. When I would normally be wearing flip-flops, I would be wearing these hands down instead. Because these are just so much more comfortable. They allow me to walk normally, as if I was barefoot, at least pretty close. My loyal readers know that I go barefoot whenever I can, completely barefoot, that is. I don't wear barefoot shoes. I think that's a hilarious marketing ploy that they try to, anyways. But this comes about as close to being able to walk barefoot as I've ever found in any type of minimalist footwear. Way better than 5 and 5 fingers, way better than the few other types that I've tried. I'm not a minimalist footwear guru, and I don't try a ton, but these are very easy to get around in casually. And so when I'm normally wearing flip-flops, I'm wearing these now. And that's what I recommend for everybody. If you own flip-flops and you wear them, which a lot of people do, I bet you would like these a lot more, and trust me, they'll last you a lot longer than most sets of flip-flops have lasted me. So that's reason enough to try some of these, in my opinion. Now that said, a few things that I didn't like about them, or challenges, and this is kind of feedback for Steven, because I know he's committed to improving his product's design. I had trouble with a few areas with these. One, I have not been able to find a way to run in these comfortably, in a way that works for me, and that's just me. That's just a data point. I pretty much only run barefoot and have been doing so since 2009. I wear some minimalist shoes in the wintertime when it's too cold to go barefoot and we've got snow on the ground. But I haven't been able to find a way to enjoy running in these, and that's just me. I know a lot of people get these because they are barefoot runners and they want a little protection for their soles. That's just me, so I just haven't been able to make it work. And maybe it's just my fault because I haven't, found the right running technique or something. It's just I can't get it to the point where it's comfortable. It's just awkward for me. Running different speeds on roads, on trails, it hasn't worked for me. I much prefer to run completely barefoot, and that's just me. A couple other issues that I normally figure out when I'm hiking or backpacking is that these don't do well when they get wet. Rather, my foot tends to slide around on the top of it when it gets wet. It's excellent grip when they're dry, but when it gets wet, my foot tends to slide around. And maybe that's just my feet. I don't know, but that's my experience. Your mileage may vary. And the other thing is that when I'm walking on loose ground or steep terrain, there is a tendency for my foot to just slide completely off it, whether it's wet or dry. Well, especially if it's wet, but even if it's dry, there's a tendency for my foot to just slide completely off it. And this thing, I'll do one of these, like I'll be walking on a rock and it'll just slide right out. And when I have a backpack or a child on my back or something, that's not a good thing. So just be wary of that if you do get these. If you're walking on loose terrain like steep sand or gravel or just loose dirt that's on a grade, or if all the leaves have fallen down and you just can't tell your foot, and just be aware of that. They could slide out from under you. I've had many almost falls. No catastrophic effects yet. I won't be filing any claims against Mr. Sashin. But that's one issue that I had. I think it just has to do with not being able to keep this 100% secured to my foot. And I've tried a handful of different ways to lace these up, and I'm using a more, I think what they call the traditional lacing style, because I feel like this gives me the most, not security, but it keeps the sandal as secure to my foot as possible, more so than the other types of ways that I've laced it. But you can lace these up tons of ways. There's a lot of people out there that have posted their creative methods, and the other set that I have, Steven sent me 2 sets. The other set that I have is set up for just having like a flip-flop. It just slips right on and slips right off, just for casual use. But most of the time I prefer to do this more elaborate lacing pattern because it just keeps it more secure to my foot. So I think that's all of the downsides that I've found. Again, the upsides, this is as close to at least walking and hiking barefoot as I've found, while also having enough protection to keep my soles from getting a puncture wound, stepping on something sharp or pointy or whatever. And I can walk normally. Like flip-flops, they make you walk funny. They screw up your feet. Your foot is like grabbing onto the flip-flop, just trying to keep it on your feet. And especially if you have to like jog somewhere for a minute or something like that, catch a kid or catch up to a kid or whatever. Flip-flops are just awkward, and these aren't awkward at all. I can get around just fine in these. And so if you have or ever use flip-flops, get some of these. Just hands down, that's my recommendation. You won't be disappointed. They're inexpensive enough where you're not going to regret your investment. So that's what I recommend. So if you have any questions about the product that I didn't cover in this video, please let me know. I'd be happy to help you out. And you can feel free to contact the Xero Shoes company too. They have great customer service. They're really invested in helping their customers. They're not just one of those companies that's trying to make as much money as possible. The people there seem to like they care, and Steven especially seems like a great guy. And Steven, thanks again for sending me the 2 sets, and I hope this review helps bring you some new readers, some new eyes, and sells you some more sandals. I know that I will be, well, if I ever wear these things out, I know that I'll be getting another set in the future. So this is John Sifferman from physicalliving.com. Hope this was helpful for you, and hopefully I'll see you around the internet. Take care.